Hello again, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Chalk Talk with the head coach of the LaSalle Explorers, Brett Gordon. This episode and all Chalk Talk episodes brought to you by the class of 1998 12th Man Club. Want to give a shout out to those guys for supporting their classmate and certainly this programming. Brett, let's start with this. We're recording this on Halloween morning, and certainly when you have a long 2 weeks between one game and the next, there's a lot of things outside of football. Let me ask you this: as a father, what was it like seeing your kids go through Halloween and costumes and trick or treating all those years growing up?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely one of those holidays every year you look forward to. Yeah, my kids are kind of getting to the point now where Halloween isn't what it used to be. That being said, I'm going to make sure we set up practice today to get out by 5 o'clock. So for the dads and that are on our coaching staff, can get home and make sure they see the little ones off. I'll be out seeing my daughter off tonight as well. So it's always been a fun holiday around our house, and wish we could hold on to it for as long as possible.
That's great. Well, my little guy is 15 months old, so we're on the other end of that, Brett. But looking forward to that down the line. But let's talk football. So, Philadelphia Catholic League champs. You guys earned the hubcap. You beat Roman Catholic. It was a comeback win. And before we do move on to, okay, what's bye week and prep week look like, let's talk about last week and everything that unfolded at Springfield High School. It was a heck of a football game and, of course, celebratory after the fact.
Yeah, I said this to the team after the game. I thought we needed a tough, hard fought 4 quarter game. We expected Roman with all their talent and a lot of the points they had been putting up. We expected a very hard fought, tough football game. So the way the game played out, I was actually kind of glad to see it play out the way it did. And what I mean by that is we needed some adversity. We have really not as a football team faced a lot of adversity this year. We've seen it in small pieces in various games, but overall, when you look at the duration of a 10 game season and hopefully some more as we go down the road, there's always points of the season where you have to overcome adversity, obstacles, and really dig down and fight. So we got down 10-0 early in the game, and our kids had an opportunity to respond. I thought we responded very well. I thought we maintained our composure for the most part. We settled in defensively. Offensively, we started executing a little better. And then once we got in our rhythm, I think we ripped off 28 unanswered points to give us somewhat of a comfortable lead late in the second half. And all that being said, was proud of the way we fought back, was proud of the way we settled in. It's not always going to be as smooth as it's been the last, for most of this season, quite honestly. So that's what I mean by saying I think we needed that type of game. We had our chances to respond. I thought we did that well, and hopefully that means we'll be better off for it as the season goes on.
And certainly the learning opportunity, right? No one's going to mistake that Roman Catholic is so talented, still a 5A, um, a favorite, quite frankly, at that classification statewide. But I'm certain that there are things you'll take away from that start and turn to your guys and say, hey, we did learn from that, and that start may not work in 2 weeks against St. Joe's Prep.
Right. I mean, we starting games is very crucial, especially at the high school level. Football is such a game of momentum that it's important. Oftentimes how you come out of the blocks is very important. So we've done
Sure.
a really good job, I would say, most of the year in all three phases. The fact that we didn't on Saturday, certainly as the head coach, I don't like to see, but to your point, it gives us a teaching moment and an opportunity to kind of reel everybody back in and say, hey, that's not going to work with who we have coming up. And, once you get into playoff football, you really got to make sure that you come out of the gates storming. So again, it's a teaching moment. This is high school football, and we're going to talk about it. We've already talked about it. And then we just got to make sure we lock in and ensure that, come next Saturday, we're ready to get off to a quick start.
And then before we do turn that attention to the bye week, take us into post game, the celebration, the trophy ceremony. into the locker room to the depth that you're willing to share. What were some of those moments like for you personally, for some of those players that have been here for 3 or 4 years, and for the program as a whole?
Right. The first thing that comes to mind was our seniors. They've been through, three the before this year. Um, the last couple of years hadn't been great. I think overall, to see the looks on our seniors' faces post game of the sense of accomplishment, excitement, and really pride on their facial expressions as far as having the season we've had so far and capping it off the way we did. So that was kind of my first reaction. And then collectively as a team, and I told the kids, I said, it's having an undefeated regular season is a big deal. And even though we're not finished yet, I think it's important that, as you go through stages in a season, that you take time to reflect and make sure that we are proud of our accomplishments and you are able to soak it in as much as possible, but also maintaining perspective that we're not finished. So the locker room was fun after the game. The on the field, I'll call it celebration, with a lot of the family members, a lot of the supporters of the program. Really at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. A lot of excitement, a lot of smiles. But for me, the best part was, kind of seeing the reaction as we left the locker room, got back to school, that everybody seemed pretty focused on, hey, this was fun, this was exciting. We feel like we did accomplish something, but there's more to come. So all of that, it was a great day. These days don't come around often in sports. It's hard to accomplish what the kids have done. And I told them that. And it's important to celebrate those moments because when you get older and football's behind you and you get to be my age, those are the moments that you think about and stick with you forever. So was really just happy for the kids to get to experience that. And then we'll turn the page and have another opportunity here next week to hopefully feel the same way.
We'll turn the page with you then. Let's get into practice this week. It is the first and only bye that you will have this year. You scheduled 10 regular season games in 10 weeks. So, what does a bye week look for LaSalle football? And certainly in the vein of this bye week, where it is the bye right before effectively a state playoff tournament starts.
Yeah, we met as a staff and discussed kind of a few different options for how we were going to handle this week. I mean, to your point, we did not have a bye week all season. So we've been at this routine now for, back since the season started in August. So it's important, we're trying to strike that, balance, if you will, about how do we stay sharp, but also make sure that we get the players off their feet. We get them to relax a little bit, revive some energy from the group. So we built into this week a little slower than normal. We had a really good practice yesterday. We're going to practice again hard today and tomorrow. And then with the game being next Saturday, we'll look to ramp it up early next week and, probably go pretty intense Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And as I told the staff, ideally, certainly by Thursday, we want everything completely locked in on what the game plan is in all three phases. And then our job as coaches is to make sure that the kids go in feeling confident with the plan, confident in what their roles and responsibilities are, and ultimately having them, have a level of confidence and calmness, if you will, that they can just go out and execute, and that would be good enough for them. So it's been a good week so far. I think the kids have handled it very well, and I think we're positioning ourselves to, be in a position to ramp it up and be ready to go next Saturday.
Last one for you, coach. And the combination of not having a bye, and certainly with a lot of the Philadelphia Catholic League schools playing games on Saturdays, uh, you know, kids are looking to get out as well and visit college games, college programs. And was wondering if you could walk through any guys that might be out on the road this weekend, meeting with college teams, seeing college football games, etc.
Yeah, in the fall there are demands, especially for the Power Five schools with recruiting some of our players. So the only what I'm aware of for Saturday is I believe Joey O'Brien and Grayson McHugh are heading up to the Penn State Ohio State game on Saturday, which is very exciting for them. I'm not quite sure. That doesn't mean nobody else is going anywhere. If so, I'll probably find out today or tomorrow. Um, but over the weekend, it's an opportunity for guys to get off their feet, continue to re-energize, and keep their minds fresh and come in and ready to go for an intense start to the week next week as we get ready. So certainly an exciting time of year. I'm very excited for all of our players that have opportunities to go on and play in college. And it's very important that they take these opportunities to visit places and make sure that they have a full understanding of all the places they're considering, so they can make the best decision when the time comes.
Well, that's terrific. I will also be up there at the Penn State Ohio State game. Unfortunately, James Franklin is not interested in recruiting me, but that's okay. Best of luck up there to Joey and Grayson. And Coach, we'll reconnect last week and really dive in on preparing for St. Joe's Prep and this Philadelphia Catholic League seeding game for District 12. Thanks for doing this.
Sounds good, Bob. Talk next week. Thank you.